We're helping downstate low to moderate income folks, the blue collar workers, the factory workers that have invested their life savings into their property, into their houses. They're the ones that are now impacted by these floods and tornadoes, and trying to find a way to recover, turning to the community and other sources to help them get back to life as normal.
We came down here about midnight, and at that point the water was still coming up. We had water up on the driveway, but it's never gotten up into the garage, and this time the water was about 4.5 feet taller than what it had ever been, and so at its worst the water was that high. The people that lived in the house had to bring a boat in to get them, and they took them out and walked them up to the higher ground.
The creek behind my house still overflows when we had lots of rain, comes out of its banks 3, 4, 5, 6 feet, to the point that the worst case it came all the way up to our yard and up against our house, causes flooding in basement, sewer backups.
The water covered the highway, and when I got home it was about here that we could see the water in the house. We weren't able to get in. We waited about 3 days and we got a boat and we paddled over, and it was beginning to recede. We looked in, everything was lost. I saved a few things, but I lost pretty much everything. I just fear the next flood that comes along.
We had water in our basement, which we'd been there for close to, 8 years at that time, and had never had any flooding. And it was kind of like a shock. And we had probably a good 6 inches in our basement.
Mine was seeping in from those side walls and stuff coming from all that water. Every time the canal gets 3-4 feet of water, there's so much pressure it just pushes through the cinder blocks.
So we're trying to incorporate this culture shift of resiliency in Illinois such that a community, if we're going to buy out some houses that were impacted by flooding, that buyout area can now become a community asset, a park, a wetland, can have other purposes and other uses.
I think the communities are excited at the opportunity that they can not only just solve their flood control problem, but also that they may be able to address some economic issues that they're having, maybe provide some additional recreation resources to their communities, or maybe even provide some environmental benefit in their community that they were lacking previously.